Zero.
It's
No,
always weird to
that's
me
not
when a
zero.
language has the word no and it's more than one syllable.
Yeah. Crazy.
Like hapana. Like, what?
Okay, you
No
were
way.
no.
Z. I got that. That's good.
Z makes sense.
But hapana, like, it takes too long to say no.
That's because we're being nice.
Yeah.
We're like Havana.
Hapana.
So, to the best of my knowledge, I know with celiac, they call it an autoimmune disorder. So it's like your body is treating it like it's
An
treating
enemy.
the gluten like an enemy. Yeah. So it activates they're called antibodies.
Yeah, the immune
ones that
response is
fight-
triggered by
yeah,
even the most tiniest amount. Yeah.
Exactly. So then that just makes you sick.
I think that's a fair introduction of Samantha Mugeni.
And Darren Collins.
And together we are the
Gluten
Warriors. We worry about gluten.
All the time.
All the time.
Every time. All the damn time. Hey.
How long were you actually in Juba?
6 months exactly.
6 months?
Yeah.
And-
Because I landed on the 29th of Feb. And then I came back here on the 6th of September.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how long were you in pain?
The whole time.
Really?
Okay. The first 2-3 months. Yeah. So this is what happened. I got there the first month. As I told you, the new job gives us food, right?
Okay.
So we have a chef. And at first, I was like, I didn't know how to tell him, this is my situation. This is what I can eat and this is what I can't eat. So what I would do is when they serve chapati, I'm like, just give me stew and like veggies. I'll be okay. And then he'd be like, I don't understand. So he would still put chapati on my plate. So mistake number one, right? Because cross-contamination.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I remember speaking to one of my friends after I'd been there for a week. And I was like, I don't remember the last time I had a shit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And he was like, maybe it's the weather. Maybe it's... I'm like, no, this is gluten. This is...
Wait, it stops you up?
It was the first time. Everything in my body has just been different since I moved there. I think because the weather, because it's really hot, or the water from the Nile is different. I don't know, something. Yeah, but that first week was struggles.
Well, I
Mad
guess we're talking
struggles.
about gluten because I haven't seen you in like a year, and first thing we're doing is talking about our bowel movements.
We're true friends.
True friends.
Best friends.
That's the worst conversation about gluten. It's always
How's
that.
your gut?
My guts have been pretty good.
Have you been sick since I left? Wow.
Not gluten sick. I have some homa.
Other than that, but it explains why your skin is glowing.
Yeah, because I have homa,
Yeah.
or because I haven't had any problems.
Because you haven't had gluten.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the experience. And then since then, it's just been like up and down. But I finally built my confidence and I told this guy, I was like, okay, listen, I can't eat chapati. He's like, okay, cool. I'll give you bread. I'm like, okay, so this is the situation. Anything that has wheat flour, I can't.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, okay. And then he got it for the first 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the third day, he just served me something that was made with wheat. And I was like, bro. And he's like, oh, I forgot. So it took him some time. And then even with my colleagues, they're just like, we don't understand this girl. Like, where did she come from? How can she not eat this? Like, make this make sense.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really challenging because not only you're going to be sick, you're also always forced to talk
About
to people
it.
about it.
Yes.
Explain yourself.
Yes.
Get the weird looks.
Yeah. And then because, we don't have really great Wi-Fi or internet in Juba, I can't just direct you to the podcast.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no. That's why I think we should have little cards that describe it.
Yeah. That
in,
people just
in
walk
different
around
languages.
with. I like it. Can we start with Arabic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that would be really nice. Because there's so many of these cultures have delicious foods.
Yeah.
But like, how do you explain? Because flour can in many languages is like a generic term.
Yes.
Well, even in English, it's a generic term.
It's generic, yeah.
And you're trying to say something specific. Yeah, that's a real. I think that would be very helpful.
I think it would be cool. Yeah.
It's like hand it to the waiter, show that to the chef.
Like, hey, serve me what you have that doesn't have this.
Yeah, that's my go-to. I'll say like I'll eat anything, but just direct me to the things that don't have this.
Yeah. And then it would also help with the language barrier. Yeah. Because like if I can't speak to you about what I want, then you can't help me.
But also, it can be tricky because sometimes some of these specific flours are kind of deep in any language. Like it's not like a really super common word.
Yeah.
You know, distinguishing between wheat, rye, barley, and corn as a flour.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then also like with rye, most people know rye bread, right? Because like when I'm explaining to people, I can't have things that have rye. And then they're like, oh yeah, so you can't eat rye bread. I'm like, yes, that and anything that has rye in it. And they're like, but what is rye? I'm like, it's a good question.
Yeah.
Good question. Same family as wheat. Is it a cereal? Is wheat a cereal?
Yes. No?
Yeah?
Yes.
No?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Cereal seems like it's also a generic term for anything that's a grain.
Yeah. So how do we solve for that?
Rye is a grass. Yeah, but what is a cereal? Because I think cereal is just a generic term for
Like beans? Maize?
it's a very generic term.
Breakfast?
For me, growing up, yes, cereal absolutely meant breakfast foods.
Breakfast, yeah.
Rice Krispies, cornflakes, Captain Crunch, Raisin Bran, etc. But that's not what it means here. It means things that it's almost like things that
Like proteins.
Rice is like a cereal. If you go to a cereal shop, they'll have popcorn.
Because popcorn comes from corn, which is a grain.
Which is a cereal.
Which is a cereal.
Yeah, so it's confusing.
Yeah.
So that's why even a card may not entirely help, and depends on how deep in the language it goes. Because like in a mother tongue, you may have a very difficult time describing the differences between a potato flour and a rice flour and a barley flour.
Yeah. And some languages don't have the words for some of these things because some of these things came with the colonialists. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it certainly would help to at least try.
Yeah, it'd be good. Then that way, I would be sick less often.
A lot of people would be sick less often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay. But then, okay, cool. So great that we're talking about this because I just remembered I was explaining this to someone about how I can't take gluten and gluten is in barley and rye and wheat. And sometimes there's usually a warning when it comes to oats.
Yes.
And then he was like, okay, but what is it? Like, what's that thing that's in wheat that we're allergic to? Like, what is gluten?
And what did you say?
I was like, it's the thing that makes it sticky. It's a protein that makes it sticky, I think.
Okay, when it comes to cooking, yes, I suppose
Yeah.
wheat gluten will have a sort of works as a binding agent.
Exactly.
It does make it sort of stick.
Yeah.
I don't know if describing it as a sticky thing
Okay, not
is the way to describe it.
Binding.
Well, no, but that's how it works as a function in cooking, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's what it is in terms of like the
Entirely, yeah.
definition of it.
Yeah.
The actual thing itself, gluten itself is I don't know.
Protein.
It's a protein.
Yeah.
And it's a protein that is in almost all plants, I suppose. It's just that we only have problems with the ones that are in certain plants.
in certain plants.
Because there's certainly rice gluten
Yeah.
but
But that one doesn't hurt us or hurt me.
it's found in grains like wheat, barley, and rye. It's responsible for the structure and flexibility of grain products. So I guess it makes it sticky. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it.
I read somewhere that it's a group of proteins. And then So one's in charge of, like, in wheat, it's what makes sure the dough rises. And then the other one is now for the binding effect.
Mm-hmm.
So one of those is the one that really hurts us. I don't know which one it is.
Well, it's certainly the ones that are in the barley and rye and wheat,
Yeah.
as opposed to the ones in
To
rice,
everything
etc.
else, yeah.
And the reason why it's so painful, I don't exactly understand. But there are differences. We have to talk about that, I suppose.
Yeah.
In your understanding, what are the differences between a gluten allergy and a intolerance and an actual celiac disease?
So, to the best of my knowledge, I know with celiac, they call it an autoimmune disorder. So it's like your body is treating it like it's
An
treating
enemy.
the gluten like an enemy. Yeah. So it activates they're called antibody. The antibodies.
Yeah, the immune
ones that
response is
fight-
triggered by
Yeah,
even the most tiniest amount.
exactly. So then that just makes you sick. Right? So that's like the celiac. And then there's now the intolerance to gluten. And there's also like wheat allergies. And those are different.
They are different.
Yeah.
Functionally, they all sort of start off having the same side effects, though.
Okay.
So it'd be very hard to tell just by the side effects which one of those you have.
Yeah.
But of course, the remedy is the same.
True.
Don't take those things.
Avoid.
It would be helpful to know for anybody which one of the ones they have, if it's an intolerance
Yeah.
or an allergy or
Yeah.
celiac disease, because celiac disease is unique in that it actually damages your body over time and can make you progressively worse. An allergy, I guess you could have like an anaphylactic sort of situation where it's like super dangerous, like immediately.
And I have a story.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you want to save it
Yeah.
or tell it?
You finish that and then
I never finish. But the thing about that is that if you have so if you have anaphylactic, I can see that would be dangerous, like immediately.
yeah.
That
instant.
that would come from an allergy, not from celiac disease.
And then so what's an intolerance? Is it the same as an allergy?
It's somewhere in between where it's like it gives you all kinds of bad effects, but not necessarily an allergic reaction that could be flushing or anaphylaxis or whatever. But all of them will tend to have at the very least, massive gut problems
Yeah.
associated with it. But of course, the celiac disease is going to just make you worse and worse and worse. Go ahead.
Is the intolerance more like tied to the gut?
I think so.
Like more of a gut reaction
Yes.
than like the allergy?
That would
which
be
is
that would be
like-
my
right?
understanding of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I don't know where I fall.
Yes, because
Because-
I don't actually 100% know either because
Yeah.
I've never been formally tested, except that I know other people in my family have, and it is hereditary and genetic or whatever, and it was celiac disease. And I have done like the 23andMe genetic test for DNA switches, and it says I have a high probability of an aversion to wheat, which also could mean anything, but it's in my genetics somehow.
Okay.
And so it's not an acquired like allergy. I think people can get allergies.
Yeah. So I'm at a point in my life right now where I think mine could be an allergy.
Oh, really?
Or it evolved into, okay, here's the story. So remember, I went to Juba, been sick first 3 months. So my reactions just kept getting worse and worse and worse. The last straw was when it went to my ears. It's like I think I accidentally had gluten and my reaction was a temporary deafness.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, because I went to hospital.
No
I thought
pun
I thought
intended.
it was like an ENT thing, ear,
Right.
nose, and throat thing. And then so the doctor was like, I'm not seeing anything in your system, but your ears inside like your canal, it's swollen. So you're definitely having an allergic reaction to something. What are all of the things that you're allergic to? So, we're going through the list and he's like, okay, cool. When's the last time you had gluten? I'm like, maybe 2 days ago, right around the time my ears just decided they no longer function. And he was like, yeah, that's it. So just stay off gluten. Let's see how this goes for like 2 weeks. I'll give you antihistamines, whatever. We fix this because they need to get the swelling down first so that they can see what's wrong with the ears.
Was he shouting the whole time because you couldn't hear him?
I understand sign language. Yeah. So that's what happened.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So I had to like cold turkey off anything that could kill me. I think I was just on maybe salads or something for a bit.
What?
Salads. Yeah.
Salads, yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, then the reaction kind of like healed itself, maybe. I don't know. But since then, I'm not messing with gluten, man.
Dude, I'm surprised you would ever even get even gluten adjacent. It's so terrible.
I was being, adventurous.
You can't do that. It hurts too much.
Yeah, now I know. Now I know better. But it was a terrible experience. I wouldn't want anyone to experience that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with celiac disease being an autoimmune disorder, once it starts to attack your immune system, then it's sort of like a cascade of effects, like a domino effect, so to speak.
Yeah.
And it can begin to destroy the lining of your guts, where your absorption of any good things also it becomes less and less. So eventually you stop absorbing the vitamins and nutrients that you would want to have just because the gluten has started to destroy.
Yeah.
I don't know if the gluten itself is destroying, but your autoimmune system is starting to destroy.
I know people
itself.
who started off gluten intolerant or like just the body did not take well to gluten. But then because they didn't get off it and they continued with it, so now the lining of the small intestine has gotten worse. And because they're not able to like take in the nutrients that are good for their body, then they're getting more intolerances. Like then they became, so now they became lactose intolerant.
Yes.
And then it's like, oh my gosh, now my bones also are a bit problematic.
You're not getting the calcium
That you
absorption.
need.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah. So it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
Yep. I started to have dairy problems until I finally quit gluten.
gluten,
And then that came back. I got my ability to have ice cream and everything back.
Really?
They all came back. It took some years. but
Okay.
yeah.
How many years?
I don't remember anymore because it's now been like 15 years that I've been off of gluten entirely.
Wow. Do you know how when people get off alcohol and then they have like what are they called?
Withdrawals?
No.
What? I mean, forget.
The thing is they
guessing
give you for like I've been sober X number of
Oh, like a
months.
coin, like the little coin.
Yeah, the coins. We need gluten coins.
Oh, that'd be great.
Like, yeah, it's been 15 years now. I'm an OG.
But that's a weird one because it's the only one where like other people can take it from you just by serving you food without telling you that they put soy sauce in it or put what else in it. Yeah.
So it's not entirely like under our control.
It's pretty cool though. I like your idea.
Yeah.
I'm for it.
Let's do it.
You could or patches or badges,
Yeah.
you know.
And then, the
Like
more you have
beads on a bracelet.
the cooler you yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that way you're still stylish.
I don't know that you would call me still stylish because I think I'd have to start stylish.
I think you're okay. Just a little bit. You're doing great.
Thanks, Sam.
You're welcome. I got you.
Yeah, that's good. But I think that I wish it was easier for you in Juba. I'm sad that it happened so much.
Thank you.
I've definitely done a lot more inquiries. I've been a lot more bold about asking people what's in their food
Yeah.
lately.
I'm getting there. I've been picking up a few Arabic words here and there, so that's definitely been helpful. Yeah. So we'll see how it
You've
goes.
been picking up the Arabic words for "don't put wheat in my soup."
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I've been trying to take soups lately.
I'm like chapati mafi.
Mafi. Like no.
No chapati.
No chapati. Okay. Mafi. Mafi means no?
No, nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Zero.
It's
No,
always weird to
it's
me
not
when a
zero.
language has the word no and it's more than one syllable.
Yeah. Crazy.
Like hapana. Like, what?
Okay, you
No
were
way.
no.
Z. I got that. That's good.
Z makes sense.
But hapana, like, it takes too long to say no.
That's because we're being nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like Havana.
Hapana.
Yeah. It's not working for you. Just like Z.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Get that out of my face.
I don't eat that.
Get that toast out of my face.
Gosh.
I don't want it on the plate. Don't even put it on the plate. That's the phrase I use.
Don't put it on the plate.
I'll say, no toast. I'm allergic to toast.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't even put it on the plate. That's how I say it in America.
Okay. I say I'm allergic to toast. Just don't serve it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But if you do, just separate plates.
Up next, restaurant review with Sam and Darren.
Okay, so I have three. I don't know
Wow.
how that happened. Let me take one.
Okay.
Zucchini.
Zucchini.
It's a restaurant. Well, yeah, because you can get, it's like a salad bar type. You can a la carte
Yeah.
place. Mm-hmm. But do they label things gluten-free or not?
They do not.
Okay, so gluten-free is a good place zucchini is a good place to get gluten-free things like that kajuju, healthy kajuju.
Yes.
Other than that, I don't know.
Stuff that they have there. I've had a salad. I have had multiple salads there.
Yeah, I think I have too.
Yeah. There's one I really like. I think they call it a meat bowl.
A meat bowl?
Yeah.
That does sound good.
It's not a bowl of meat, but it's a
Is it
salad.
a bowl made out of meat?
There's some meat in it.
Okay.
Yeah. So you choose if you want beef or chicken.
All right.
And then it has like so many things going on in that bowl. There's like quinoa, beans, corn.
Mm-hmm.
What is the other thing that was there? Because just so filling.
I want to eat snacks from our last episode.
You are allowed to eat snacks from our last episode while I talk about a salad. Is that healthy? Anyway, the meatball at Zucchini, I would highly recommend.
Zucchini just seems like one of those places where it's going to have a lot of options.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a place you eat out to, but I guess because of that salad bar, you can get takeaway things. Some of them have chairs, right? Some of the zucchinis have chairs out
Yeah,
front.
like the one on Janoma Tenke has like a restaurant setup going on. I haven't seen any other zucchini that has like that.
If it's the place I'm thinking of, I think the one at the Hub in Karen.
Oh, they have a sitting place?
If it is indeed a zucchini there, then there's a seating place.
Oh, okay.
And
Nice.
if I recall correctly, and I could be wrong, they also like make breakfast, like omelets and things.
Oh, yeah. I've had a zucchini breakfast before. It's just one of those where I think it was like an English breakfast. But I told them, okay, I don't do bread. I don't do blah, blah, blah. And they were like, okay, cool. Do you do potatoes? I was like, yeah. So they're like, okay, we'll give you potatoes instead of toast.
Yeah, when I was working at the mall there for several weekends in a row one year, and I remember I would go there I would just have an omelet no matter what time of day it was, because I knew that an omelet, there's not going to be any ingredients that have gluten. Breakfast foods, eggs and stuff were always a pretty good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't sell any gluten-free breads, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah.
The Gluten Warriors podcast is produced by Arro Digital. The show is executive produced by Eva and Sam Mugeni. Our editing is done by Voicebox Studios. Join us next Wednesday for another episode of The Gluten Warriors. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, AfriPods, and wherever you get your podcasts from.